Right, you know when animals they take a shit in a field, right? They don't like just suddenly squat and plan to go and get constipated. They literally just shit and it comes out so naturally. And if you notice that humans are the only animals that get constipated, and that's because we clench and we try and force things to happen. In life, you can't force things to happen. They just happen naturally. And it's not just about how we force things to happen. We also have such shitty diets where our bodies aren't used to shitting out, like KFC and kebab and pasta and bread. What's your thought on diet?
Well, I think the diet all depends on what you eat.
So are you into like ketogenic diet or anything, or do you just eat whatever you want?
Oh yeah, see, yeah, I just eat whatever I want. It's a pretty fucked up world. That's what I think about diet. There's people like me who can eat like shit, and everything seems to be okay. And then there's people who can really make an effort to eat healthy, and yeah, they're just shit out of luck. Genetics handed them a bad hand of cards. So yeah, the diet's an interesting topic.
So are you somebody who believes like diet is crucial for a human health, or is it just like I'm here once, I'm just gonna eat what the fuck I want and then just die when I die?
Um, I think the diet definitely can allow you to live longer. I think just because my physical appearance might not change that much, no matter what I eat, I think that there is a longevity, uh, impact that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna live as long if I eat like shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like everywhere you look, there's adverts from companies just flooding our brains with deals, percentage off Domino's, cheap fucking chicken wings, like 2 for 1 McDonald's, Uber Eats discount. Everywhere you look, there's just so much food to buy. And before you know it, you are literally becoming a pile of shit. You are becoming a chicken wing and like you're becoming a kebab. And we're supposed to be made up of like just natural foods like nuts and olives and just good water. And
Hey,
we're
what's
just
what's a sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
know what we said?
Oh, what's a kebab?
Kebab. So you know Turkish food, that lamb on like a spinny thing, and it spins round
Oh,
like a
like on a
lamb.
stick?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a kebab thing. So it's like a lamb thing. It spins around, and they
How
shave
do
it
you
off.
how do you spell that?
Kebab. Kebab.
Interesting.
It's massive in England. I mean, I'm sure if you saw it, you'd know what it
Well,
was. But
I think we have something similar. It's it's whatever you want on a stick, and they call it a kebab, like B-O-B, not B-A-B.
it might be the same thing. It's just it's
It
spelled different.
probably is.
But
Yeah, that's
yeah.
funny.
It's just something on a stick. But yeah, people think that kebab it's like unhealthy when actually just because it's in a what we call a kebab van, we think of it as like in a van on the side of the road, like a burger van. It must be shit. But actually, a kebab is just meat, like the offcuts of meat off lamb. So not like pure meat, but it's got like fats and skin. And they put like turmeric, cumin, chili powder, paprika, and they put load of spices in the meat, and then they cook it. It's not bad. Like it's bad because the bacteria builds up, but it's just no different to any other food. In fact, it's probably healthier than flipping other food because at least it is like pure offcuts rather than added shit that goes in it.
So let's talk about religion.
No, let's not talk about
all
religion. We do not talk about religion on this
right,
podcast
all right. Can I at least know why you don't talk about it?
because there's so many other great things two humans can speak about rather than the
Okay,
things that half the humans on this planet will disagree and argue and debate about.
really? Wow. Um, okay, does spirituality fall
Yeah,
under
we can speak
religion?
spirituality. No, we can speak that absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like they're so closely. There's just such a relationship there that it's hard to ignore the religion side of the conversation.
Spiritual side meaning spirits and ghosts and energy that we can speak
Um,
about,
okay.
but not somebody up there pulling the strings in terms of religion. We're not speaking about that.
Yeah, but how are ghosts any different than somebody pulling a string?
As in the higher power of somebody. Anyway, we're not talking religion. Let's talk about sex,
All right.
baby. Let's talk about you. Right. Let's talk about pets, why are dogs so important for the health and mental health of so many humans? Is it because humans are not able to connect anymore, whereas a dog just sort of listens and just takes you as you are?
Yeah. I mean, I think the key to life is love, and dogs, since they don't say anything, they give us this feeling of love, because sometimes all we need is somebody just to be there and acknowledge us, not say a fucking word, not ask any questions, not give any advice, just acknowledge me, give me attention, and make me feel accepted no matter what I do.
It's like,
That's what
hey
I think.
asshole, your breath smells. Speak the other way. No, he just sits there and it's like, oh, sausages. Oh, someone's got sausages. Oh, come closer.
Hell yeah, exactly. They're
You
fucking
said that
great.
to your wife. She'd be like, ah, fuck you, your breath stinks. Brush your teeth.
Oh, my mic went out. Yeah, I get that. Oh shit. Hold on. I get that all the time, actually. Apparently, I have gingivitis.
Gingivitis. What, a natural hair of strawberry blonde?
What?
A natural hair of strawberry blonde.
Oh no. It's something with my gums. My
Oh, you
breath
actually
stinks.
saying you've got gingivitis? I thought because you've got ginger hair, you're making a joke about how you've got
Oh,
some kind of
gingivitis.
ginger. Yeah, I thought you were making a joke, but you've actually got gingivitis. What is it?
Oh, maybe I have gingivitis and gingivitis now that you mention it.
Yeah, but what do you mean by gingivitis?
I don't know, but there's this stupid fucking cat. You know, cats are cool, but when they rub on you all weird like, really pisses me off. Hold on. Hey,
Are you sure it's
come
not?
here.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not the coronavirus?
No, it's this little pussy right here. She thinks she can just, come and give me the rub down whenever she wants, however she wants. She broke into the studio, literally broke in. I had the door shut, and she just opened the door, came in here, and started giving me the rub down.
I think American pussy is a lot tastier than English pussy. Her eyes, or I could come to bed eyes. Like if I was in a club and she wagged that tail around, I'd be leaving the club as soon as I've got in. I mean, those eyes are hypnotic, right?
Oh, I don't even have to go to the club anymore. I just stay at home with this pussy.
Man, she needs to shave that pussy though. Like that's a bush. If my girl turned up like that, I'll be like, right, I'm just gonna go to the kebab van, and by the time I come back, do your
No,
magic.
she's got her thing spread. Like she's fucking working it for the camera right now.
Are you
If
sure
she's
that's
done
not
this
even?
before.
Is that not fake? Is that not a stuffed one, not the mantelpiece?
No, she's being very uh there's some action for you.
You're like, I can't hear you. I've got earphones on.
Maybe that'll
Okay, so
get her out of here.
do you know much about law of attraction?
Oh yeah. Well, not much, but I know about it. Like you attract what you are kind of thing.
Yeah. So, for example, a ginger man will attract gingivitis and a ginger pussy.
That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Now I got a question. So everyone has a dream, right? And not everyone gets their dream come true. What do you think is the crucial element, aside from having the skill, that one needs in order to achieve their dream over others also trying to achieve their dream?
Wait, can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Everyone wants to make it, right? Not everyone makes it. What is the crucial key element that one needs in order to make it over others who don't?
Oh fuck. A great question. You might want to ask somebody who's made it, because I don't
Well,
fucking know.
I know
I
I'm gonna
haven't made it.
make it. Are you gonna make it?
Oh, absolutely. I've got an oh fuck, hold on. I'm gonna say this and it's gonna sound so cool.
Just let it come to you naturally.
Oh, that's
Shit.
it.
Let it
I've
flow.
got it. I've got a delusional sense of uh I'm gonna make it. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
So what
There's
makes
something
you?
within me.
Why are you more special over other people who don't make it? So let's just say in 5 times to where what are you different compared to the others that didn't? Looking back.
Oh, just work. You gotta work. You gotta put in the work. I
It's a
think that's
work
the key.
ethic.
Absolutely. And you've got to, well, first you've got to have faith. You got to believe. You got to have, you got to, there has to be something within you that understands you can fucking do it. And then no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody thinks, you just got to fucking follow your heart's
So when you say
fucking
belief, when you say belief, do you mean you believe that you can do it, or have a belief in terms of a higher power, whether it's God, whether it's energy, whether
no,
it's
no,
spirits,
it
or
has
just universe?
no, nothing to do with anything higher power. Just like you need to believe that you're gonna like make it in order to do the work to make it. Because if you don't even believe that you can make it, why the fuck would you do the work?
So do you believe that it's almost written in our DNA? Not that it's literally written in our DNA, but do you believe that you are born with a gift to just vision it and create it, whereas others, no matter what they do, how many schemes they sign up to, how many mentors they have, they just haven't got what it takes? Can you learn the traits needed, or are you just naturally given it and you just flow?
No, I think maybe some people are born with a little advantage, possibly, but honestly, I don't. I think it's all experience. It's all environment and everything we're exposed to. That's what really, allows us to develop whatever the fuck we want to develop, any skill, any trait, or whatever the fuck. But also, you know, the younger we learn shit, I think that's important. Like, you start learning something at a younger age, start reading. Let me just back it all up. If you fucking start reading, or no, if you're being read to while you're in the wound, I think that's step one to really being able to do anything.
I agree, yeah. It's all to do with vibration. And if your baby as part of you and you are a negative vibration, if you're around positive people, negative people, if you're around electromagnetic field, someone at electricity line, if you're around negative people in the office, if you are singing happiness versus shouting and being destructive, that's vibration. Your baby's picking up that vibration, which means as soon as it comes out the woman's ass, right, you are now automatically a magnet vibration based on whether your parent was around negative vibrations or positive. So as soon as you pop out, you are vibrating and you're going to attract to the things that are on your frequency. So I agree. If you start singing to a baby, right, it's going to be used to that sound, that frequency. If you were shouting to a kid or had an abusive father, he's going to be listening and absorbing all that vibration unconsciously, even though he doesn't consciously remember dad shouting at mum. But it has an effect massively. So I agree. You're literally born with it. It's not in your DNA, but you are born with certain things based on the environment and your parents. So I absolutely agree.
Well, okay. Check one off the list. We agree.
But you do know that genetics aren't hereditary and they are controlled by thoughts and environment, right? You can change the genes of anyone. There's no such thing as it's in the gene. DNA you can't change because that's the physical things like eye color, hair color, nose shape. But genes can be altered in seconds. There's no such thing as a hereditary gene. You don't get things from our parents like diseases. Did you
Oh,
know
you
that?
don't think so?
I know so, but do you know that?
Uh, no, I don't know if I know that. I don't know that. No.
Right, so there's something called epigenetics, right?
Oh yeah.
Where the vibration of the environment or the thoughts control the gene, and the gene will either divide and create new cells, or it will just sit there until it becomes cancerous and destroy other cells around it. Thought vibrations of sound have proven to break down cancerous cells, okay, as well as create new cells. So certain vibration, this goes back to thousands of years, okay? It's not in the mainstream because obviously it just isn't, but you go back thousands of years, people have always known this, okay? And as we live in this modern world, it's become lost. Why? Of course, because of profits and everything else, medicine industry. And
Yeah, you
so,
can't make a profit off vibration. Well, I take
exactly,
that back. You can
exactly,
make a
yeah.
profit off vibrations. Ask the porn industry.
Yeah, I mean that is also true, but yeah, you can't. If you could just like sing to your cancerous lump on your leg, you would have to go and spend thousands of pounds on Obamacare, for example, to heal that cancer. It's stuff that isn't out there, and it's true. And if you look, well, nowhere to look, you'll find the proof. You'll see it in front of your face, of videos of teachers and monks and stuff like that showing the power of thoughts and vibration. So if you understand that thoughts and vibration can alter cells, then it can change any genes, because genes are just cells that are just the fault that we think. So we don't change them, or we don't know how to change them. But when you realize genes are not default, and you didn't get them from your parents or the generation above, you can control anything. Any disease you can control. Any symptom of something that you think is a problem. It's created in your mind. You can undo it in your mind, and you can also create it in your mind.
You think you can undo it, or you think you can just influence it?
Or by influencing it, you can undo it. For example, if I've got a doctor says I've got cancer in my nipple, right? Under the MRI scan, he sees like dead cell tissue. I could use healing energy, get monks to chant at it and sing to it, and use sound vibrations and frequencies, and like healing energy. And you can look under the microscope of that cancerous cell vibrating like that and breaking apart, and it just sort of disperses like a fart. You fart, it really stinks, and as time goes by, it
Excuse me.
separates, and it's like that mist is gone. It's like when you piss in a bath, yeah. After a while, that yellow becomes whiter, and it's not there anymore. That is the power of energy, and this is real. And if you know where to look, you'll find it. And it's not something that's suddenly going to come out, because it's just not how the world works. It's not like governments are
Well,
keeping it a
it's not
secret.
gonna come out because it's been out. There's no, like they're not gonna do a rebranding of the power of energy. Well,
Of
somebody
course.
will, but
Yeah, like it's
yeah.
not, the government aren't keeping it a secret. It's just that they don't know it, because it's just ancient knowledge that has been forgotten about for whatever reason, right? And you can't bring it out down.
Well,
So just not the way it's going to work.
it's breaking up a little bit, but when you say government, are you referring to like all governments?
Just like people who are in charge of, like, regulations, rules, politics, healthcare, whatever. They're not hiding this. They just don't know it. We're talking about generations of humans, like hundreds and thousands of years ago, ancient techniques of healings. It's just become lost as we've evolved. So they're not trying to hide it. If, for example, someone in power, or somebody's in charge of a pharmaceutical industry, has got a wife, for example, who's got cancer, and some monk said, "I'll heal your wife," just by singing a song to her or using sound frequencies, he's not going to be like, "Absolutely not, because I run a pharmaceutical company making billions, and if I see this, I realize my product is bollocks." He's going to say, "I love my wife, do what you got to do," and he's going to do it. Does it mean he's going to stop selling medicine and, like, you know, cures for cancer? Probably not, because he's got a multi-million-pound house to pay and his jet needs washing. But I'm saying that it's not that they're hiding it; they just don't know it exists. There's no like Illuminati conspiracy where they're trying to control the people. That's not what's happening.
So, what do you think about the fact that, I mean, okay, you're talking about, energy and basically understanding that we have an influence and we have a we have a relationship with this energy of the universe, and we can use this energy for our benefit if we just acknowledge that it's fucking a real thing, and um, take the necessary steps after that. Is that am I does that sound
Yeah.
roughly?
So do you know much about energy and law of attraction and stuff?
Uh, I want to say yes, but here's where I'm going with this. Okay, I think that, and Just tell me what you think. All right. So I'm thinking that these religions, I know you don't want to talk about religion, but I feel like they're still so closely connected. So I feel like religions are just different ways that humans have attempted to understand these energies and tap into these energies. And within each culture, that is kind of one of the ways that humans have decided to tap into that energy. And I don't think that, I think it's such a complex topic that it helps people just simplify it and, you know, put a name to it, as opposed to it being, super intellectual or, just too in depth.
Yeah, so I agree. It's all the same thing. Religion is energy, energy, spirituality. It's all the same thing. It's just someone else's perception of what they think that same thing is, whether it's what they were taught or what they've worked out. It's all the same thing.
Right.
And
So
that is why, and that's why I don't want to speak about it, because it's
why,
someone
if it's the
else's,
same thing, what's the matter?
because everyone's perception of it is their own unique perception of it, which is unique to everyone else. It's not the same thing to them, but it's all the same thing. So you're trying to convince someone that I've got a duck, and you're saying, no, it's not, it's a duck. And I'm like, yes, I know it's a duck. And they're saying, no, it's not a duck. And you're saying, but it is a duck. You're trying to convince someone that yours is a duck, and they're saying theirs is a duck. And it's like, it's both fucking duck, but the person can't see that it's a duck. So I do not go down that path. You know what I mean?
So are you afraid that I'm gonna try to convince you of something?
No, it's just I don't speak about politics, religion, or global warming.
Really? Well, global warming, that's part of politics, though.
I don't care what it's part of. It's just the three topics that I don't speak about. Yeah, it's probably all relatable, but when there's amazing stuff to talk about, like power of the mind,
Goes back to religion.
nature, aliens,
Religion.
fish in the ocean, how birds fly, whether we're going to live in space, whether we can fly, whether there's going to be like jetpacks, and there's all that amazing shit to speak about. I'm not speaking
Yeah.
about anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, half of our conversation has been us arguing over whether why we're not going to talk about religion. This is
And that
great
is why we're
content.
not going to speak about religion.
No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, it's just a paradox I live in. I had one parent who, went to church, another parent who, was could care less, didn't see why she would want to waste her time doing that. And so I've always like bounced back and forth. Well, not back and forth, but I've always just found it interesting, the whole religion thing. And like I even play along, and I go and participate in the traditions, the rituals. But
So I
it's
find
like,
ourselves speaking about religion. Let's speak about whether you think there is aliens.
define alien.
So, um, um, so not a human, another species. So not like an elephant, not a duck, not a human. Another species that either was from this Earth or is from another planet. That is what I mean by alien.
Um, I don't think one way or the other, but if I had to make a guess, I would say probably.
So, do you think that, for example, that there's another planet out there that is close enough to the sun where it's warm, but not too far away that it's too cold, like Earth, that it has the perfect conditions to create life, or do they not necessarily have to have lungs and ears and eyes and nose, so they don't need to have oxygen? So whether they're close to the sun or not is irrelevant. Do you think that is going to have like the same setup life on this planet has, which needs like oxygen through like lungs and shit, or can it be like whatever you want it to be because we don't know what's out there?
Yeah, I think when you don't know, it can be whatever your imagination wants it to be. Because I have
So do
no
you think
fucking idea. I know that life is adaptable. So the possibilities are endless. Once you realize that something can change or adapt to its environment to survive and live longer, then I don't see how any possibility is out of the question.
I agree. Yeah, a lot of it's in our heads, and yeah, we see what we want to see based on what we've already seen. But it doesn't mean that there's nothing out. There's something else out there that we've not thought about. Um, Area 51. You have all these people saying that they see crafts. Now, obviously, Area 51 is a government military base for creating, let's just say, new drones and new crafts to, protect the military and shit. Are
Right.
people actually seeing spaceships? Are government creating different types of um, aircrafts, or are people dreaming it based on what they think they are seeing? So when you think you see something and your brain tricks you, right? Is it simply that? So if you think there's a ghost in your house, then you'll be sort of aware when things are moving, things are knocking, or hearing a ghost speaking to you. But that's based on what they already believe. So when they see this stuff, are they dreaming it, or are they actually seeing this stuff? They can't tell the difference between reality or not.
Oh, I think they're seeing it. I think it's just military project.
I agree. I just simply think it's purely military, different like crafts. Like who says a plane has to be always a plane with two wings? There could be so many other ways you can create a craft. For whatever reason, they're just trying out new things. Like a drone, for example, like a one that we can control with remote control. It's square and it sort of hovers up. And then you've got other drones that they use, which are like an aeroplane, like a mini aeroplane. So if you could use like a drone that sort of flies up, well, that's no different to a space disc, is it really? Which goes up and down, whether it's with jet power or propellers, it's really the same thing. So when you think about it like that, it's quite possible that people are seeing real things, but it's just that's the thing. Like you don't necessarily know if there's a drone above your head right now, so you don't necessarily have to know all the new aircrafts that they're creating for whatever reason. There could be like white crafts so when it's light time, dark crafts so when it's nighttime, and they could be round, for example, because they don't, you know.
Sorry, you cut out. What'd you say? They could be around and what?
For example, if you want to like spy over countries at nighttime, it's easier to hover because it might create less noise, for example. Whereas if you have like a drone in the day, it needs to fly forward, which means it's going to be more visible. So the round thing might be used to hover at nighttime just because it keeps it undercover. So for all we know, there could be like round aircrafts that are only used for nighttime, which you're not really supposed to see, otherwise it gives away the whole point of, you know, having these secret things to do things, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's what it comes down to for me. If we saw an alien craft, like I just think that that's even to say an alien craft, like some sort of flying object. Um, I think that would be too simple. However, you travel through space to other planets, I don't believe it's done um, as simply as we think it is, or it would have already been done.
Yeah, but this brings me on to the conversation I've had on other podcasts. If we think we're the only humans that have evolved to this point where we're suddenly going to space, then then you could say, well, if we'd done it before and it was possible before, wouldn't we have done it? Which means no, it wasn't possible, and we're the first people to do it out of like the human species. But when you look about ancient cities underwater, technology found underground that are like advanced as a Mac, and you look at how like Stonehenge is put up, and like, well, we didn't have tractors till 100 years ago. How did that happen? It makes you think we might not have been the only humans that have evolved to this level.
What? Okay.
It makes
Sorry.
you think that maybe we're not the only humans that have evolved to this level, and that it's a cycle that humans have done this before. Maybe not 8 billion of them, but generations before. smaller tribes of, say, hundreds or thousands or whatever, might have done all this, and it's just history repeating itself. And for example, they eventually built spaceships to go live in Mars because, like us, we're thinking, oh, that looks nice up there. It's starting to flood down here. Let's go up there. And then thousands of years later, when the humans got wiped out on the planet, they survived up in space. They're the aliens. And now the tide sort of balances itself out. Humans start to rebuild. And we're thinking, oh, that looks nice up there. We're doing the same thing again. We're creating this Mac. Steve Jobs thinks he's the first to create an iPhone. No. Mrs. Monk, many, many years ago, came up with the idea. And you just see history repeating itself.
Yeah. Very one of those things I think about. Like, have civilizations made it this far or even further, and then it was all destroyed through natural disaster or something?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. A lot of this stuff, when you look at what the flu's doing now, and you look at the different climates where flooding happens or it's really hot or really cold, you're going to have to eventually move out of, say, North Carolina, where there's always storms, because your house is just going to keep getting destroyed or you die. Flu's going to end up getting you if you live too closely in a city. Floods, if you live by Malibu Beach, for example, you're going to get flooded. Wildfires in California, Australia. So all this natural disaster is clearly having an effect on humans that, if you look at it over time, you can understand how, like, dinosaurs became extinct, for example, if there was a sandstorm or whatever, or how humans could have, as I said, there's ancient cities underwater that are clearly an equivalent of New York being underwater. And they say New York's going to be underwater in X amount of years. Well, absolutely. It's just the way it is. Animals migrate as the temperature changes, and humans just stay here and feel like, oh, well, I'll just put a log fire on, or, oh, I've got electricity and heating, I'll just stay here. And the universe is like, no, you won't. I'll force you out. I'm in control here, fucker. Get out. I want a
Really?
storm right now. I'm going to snowstorm right now. Get the fuck out.
So is that God or is that something different?
It's just the sun, the distance between the sun and the earth, okay, means that there's heat. And then when the earth spins, the other part of the earth is cool, like condensation. When hot and cold mix, creates moisture, which creates rain. And then when the rain drops and the sun hits the rain, it cools and creates moisture, and then that becomes rain. And then it's just the way it is. I think it's a bit of physics, chemistry, and biology.
So is that's just the universe?
That's just the universe. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I would always argue that we should consider, it's better to refer to the universe as opposed to God. Because
Yeah, I agree.
Because you say God and then you start thinking about the man in the sky pulling strings.
Absolutely.
Also, it's the definition of God that throws people off, because there's multiple definitions. Actually, I don't even know if there is a Buddhist definition for God, but I know.
Yeah, let's talk about Buddhism. So in terms, not
Wait,
Buddhism, the
hold on.
religion. I mean the Buddha person.
Oh, Siddhartha?
Yeah. So what's your thoughts of these people like Buddha and monk? These ancient like leaders of wisdom and divine intervention that many years ago they just sit on their little rock and meditate, and they're so happy. And people come to these people like Jesus for advice, and they're like, tell me how to heal myself, tell me how I can love myself and my neighbor. And he's like, you just need to learn to accept who you are and love yourself within. Tell me about these great people like Buddha and monk. Well, they're just like you and me with a message back in their day before you had social media.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it seems like. I have to say, they're just regular. Maybe not regular. There's something about them that's not regular as we define regular, as in, following the norms of society. But yeah, I think we all have that capacity within us.
Yeah, like as you said, everyone has a theory, a message of the same thing. We've all got the same brain. We all have the neurons firing up, which relay sound to our eardrums, and we hear sounds that are in our head. Voices in our head, basically. Call that voice whatever you wish. We all have that voice, and it was whatever makes you feel comfortable to live your life. So yeah, anyone can be a messenger of that same thing, like Jesus, like Monk, like Muhammad Ali, like Steve Jobs. They're all just people with the understanding of it over other people. And the more confident you are with a message, the more followers you get. Like Instagram, for example, if you've got this sexy lady with her tits out, or this muscular guy, and he's a gym fitness instructor, you're going to idolize him, and you're going to want to follow him and say, how do you get such big pecs? And he's going to be like, oh, you need to buy my protein shake for £40 on Amazon, and you can be like me. And whilst you're there, I've got a book coming out. You can buy this too. And before you know it, he's on Big Brother. And everyone's like, oh my God. It's the only way to make it online. There's an online formula if you want to make it online. And yeah, got to do the whole package, the mentorship, the ebook.
All right, yeah. So do you start with just building the audience, and then you start distributing all that stuff, or do you have it all ready to go?
I believe that you need to have a vision of where you're going. So, for example, if you got dropped off in the desert, you can't just start walking. You need to know if you're going north, south, east, or west. Once you know the direction you're going, then you can sort of just work it out along the way. So if you get to like a river, you can either swim or find a bridge, or go under the ground, or go round. If there's woods, you can either go under the trees, over the trees, round the trees. If there's crocodiles, you can either build a bridge over them, go left, go right, throw some food, and then go. AKA, there'll be obstacles along the way, which you can't really, you don't know are going to be there until they're there. But you need to have a general direction. So, to your question, what was your question?
Oh, do you need to have all of the, the sales stuff ready?
Yeah. So, it's very important that so many people are trying to make it, and they're trying to follow formulas of people that have made it, because they think, well, how can I make it? How did he make it? And then they follow them. But people don't understand that when somebody made it, they had to go through many, 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 many steps. And all you see is the main steps, but you don't see all the steps they had to go down. So you're thinking, okay, if I get to that step, that'll get to that step, and that'll get to that step. But you never saw how they had to get to each step. That's what you said about hard work. It's all the time that you put into action that others don't see and do. They don't see you and Ed Sheeran at nighttime writing all night. They just see him walk into the studios the next day, right? So it's all about the content. If you can provide good content for people, you'll care the money, people will start to follow you, and money will come as a result of providing good content.
So your answer is build the audience first.
Build the audience first. If you're any good, money will come. It's just how it works. But if you try and do it for the money, if you're focused on the money, you're not focusing on the content. And you simply will be like every other fucker out there trying to get rich quick. And it doesn't happen overnight.
Well, isn't that why a lot of people just give up pretty quickly?
Absolutely, because it's not happening quicker. It's not happening at the speed that they want. They see other people what they have, and they start that journey of writing, singing, acting, whatever. And then when they realize there's lots of no's involved, and there's lots of hard work involved, there's getting up late, there's connecting and messaging loads of people just to get something done, they don't realize that had to happen, and they give up because they didn't get there in the speed that they wanted. So that no becomes a disappointment to them, and they don't want to feel that disappointment. Whereas, if you're going to be successful, that there's like 99 no's and 1 yes. You need to say 50 yeses, which means you've got to go through 99 times 50 no's. And if you can embrace all that negative energy, knowing it's part of the game, you'll be there. Why? Because when others stop, you've already made it. Because now there's no competition. You don't need to keep going. There's just no competition anymore. You're ahead. So that's why if you focus on the quality of the content, you're always going to be ahead of the game. Because now you've got a product that can be sold, whereas everyone else, they've only got like a percentage of a product, which they just started to draw on a bit of paper. So you're writing, for example, you've obviously idolized people in the industry to get an idea of what people listen to, but it's good shit.
What are you talking about?
Your music. It's good shit.
Oh, the song I sent you.
Yeah, it's good shit. Like when you look at what's he called? Fucking black guy with Good in this, dun, dun, and put it all in a zoo. Dun, 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 don't stop,
Oh
get it.
yeah.
What's it
Travis
called?
Scott.
Yeah. If you look at that, okay, and I listen to your music, it's got the same type of vibe. It's not a coincidence how the same writers write the same songs for like pretty much all the artists because it's their creativity that we're used to hearing. You can't just write a song in G if all the songs are in C because your ears won't be focusing on it. DJs can't play it after the next track in the club because it's in a different fucking key. And if you're
Right.
smart enough, you get all that. You can't just like write a fucking song in A sharp because it's unique and no one else has done it in A sharp. Because how's a DJ supposed to mix that? You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah. A good
there's
point.
all a sequence. There's all a sequence, and yeah, your music is good because it's got that same type of beat and vibe, which makes people think I've heard this before, and it's what they're used to listening to. And the fact that you're not famous is irrelevant because everyone who made it wasn't famous once. They were like you, creating your shit, and they got a shot on some person who was working his way up. And then before you know it, you've been exposed to thousands of people, and you just got to keep doing it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're fucking right. And but see, music is one of those things. It's that energy, it's that vibration for me that I just love it. And it's not about the fucking, as you know, I told you I don't have any music. Well, maybe I have very little music, um, pretty much no music published. So like, it's not even something that uh, I think about in those terms. I'm just literally focusing on the quality of the content. How can I make better music every single time I go to create music? That's all I care about.
Exactly. Like if you wrote 10 songs, okay, and those songs were songs that are good enough to be in the charts, it doesn't matter whether you wrote that in a day and other artists are writing hundreds of songs over years and then finding 10. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a quality song. So it is about the quality. And if you're any good, you'll make it. Because if you put something out there, people like it or they don't, right? It's just the way it is. So that's why it's all about the content. It's not about the name. It's not about the money. It's not about how big you are. You just create quality, and people will sell it for you if it's quality. You won't have to do any work, and that's why so many people never make it because they're trying to write based on what they think people want to hear. And then you've got a unique person like Travis Scott, like Ed Sheeran, who just write their own style. And it's not they're trying to be anyone else. It's just it's good. They can write. They're in flow. The lyrics make sense. It rhymes. Some people like bollocks. Your lyrics they rhyme. It tells a story. It's in flow. You got the beat. Some people are just gifted naturally, like myself. Yeah, and you. We're just gifted. We can just write. We can just talk, and it's good. People want to hear it. And some people they just haven't got the gift. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is it born? Are you born with certain gifts? I don't believe it's in our DNA. It's just that you either have a natural ability or you do not.
But see, that's where I get a little iffy because is it that we have a natural ability or is it that we enjoy it and we do it a lot, which is practice? And so because we practice a lot, we're pretty good. But a lot of people just don't enjoy it, so they don't want to practice, so they're not that good.
See, that is true. If you're a pianist, for example, or a violin player, okay, if you play violin your whole life, you'll be better than anyone who doesn't play it their whole life. But if you want to be a famous violinist, for example, in a band or whatever, then just because you are a good violinist doesn't mean you're going to be in the band because the band is about being able to sell yourself, to promote yourself, getting up early in the morning, being in the studio for 15 hours. It's more than just being good at a skill. That's what I was telling you. People have the skills, but they need like the hard work and the drive and the vision. And it's the ones that who want it more end up making it. Not because they're any better, because most of the time these people who make it aren't actually better than the other people who didn't make it. They're a lot better singers than like, One Direction and Bieber and stuff. But it's something about these people that allow them to get further. Whether it's people skills, whether it's smile, whether it's communication, whether it's work. You know what I mean? It's so many other factors. It's not just one. So yeah, you could learn something and then master your skill, right? But if, for example, your parents are hardworking and they've always been hardworking because their parents are hardworking, that's from birth. You're not born with it. but it's from birth in terms of a learned trait. Like you always, that's all that you've known. Your father coming home after a hard day's work, you live in a nice big house, and he works hard. So that is kind of what you're born with it. But yeah, the more you practice, the better you are. You put that together, you're gonna make it no matter what you do, because if you've got the drive and the skill, you'll make it. Because that's the only reasons why people make it, because they keep going when others don't, and you need more than just the ability. People say, "Oh, never give up on your dream." Is X Factor people never give up? Everyone says nothing is
Yeah.
impossible. Yes, but you can't fucking sing, mate. So you got to understand that it's a business, and you can't sing. You certainly can't talk either. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Hey, I've got to go sell a portable AC unit, but I've had a great fucking time, and we'll have to do it again if I'm ever selected to be on the show.
Well, listen, 2 minutes. If you were late by 2 minutes, I would have said no. You got on at 58. I was literally waiting to close that messenger call because you were going to be late, and you let me down twice. Let me down once, I can understand. It's like, what's it called? Once something. Fool me once, it's on me. Fool me once, it's on you. Fool me twice, it's on me. Something like that. But anyway, have you heard of it? Fool me once, that's my bad. Fool me twice.
Oh yeah, that one of our presidents had a fucking famous.
Anyway, just quickly, because I know you got to go. Do you want to plug anything? Podcast, website, Spotify link, your Pornhub channel?
Oh yeah, check out my Pornhub channel at Inspire Polls. That's Inspire. No, I'm joking. I don't have a Pornhub channel, but I'll go make one of those if there's anybody out there who wants me to. And Inspire Distraction. It's on YouTube. Check that shit out.
Anything else you want to say, sir?
Yeah, peace and love like
link?
Gandhi. What?
SoundCloud, anything? No?
Just stay fucking tuned, because real shit's gonna happen.
Right, stay fucking tuned. I'm going to end this call, and I'm going to say bye at the end, all right?